Hello, boss. Welcome to Your Bossy Podcast. We are on season 4, episode 9. And for today's episode, it is titled Finding Me. Today will be the very last episode for season 4 and for the whole total season of all of the 4 seasons that I told you guys will be dedicated to sharing my healing journey. It has been quite a journey, but we are finally at the end of the journey. It doesn't stop here though, okay? I will share with you guys in the end on what the future looks like. In today's episode, it will be about everything that I learned from Project Finding Me in my whole 6 months of traveling to Thailand. Some of these things may be repetitive where you've heard me talk about it throughout my whole journey, maybe even all the way back to season 1 to now, or maybe this whole season. You heard me repeat it so many times, and I'm sorry if you are hearing this again, but this is a summary and a closing to the whole season, so it will just show you everything that I've learned. So bear with me if you are hearing this for the second or third or fourth time. Self-love. I didn't know how to properly love myself, and I didn't know what that meant at all. I was constantly in a battle of doing things for other people, and it was never genuine about loving myself. It was to set a front or an image, or it was to do better so that somebody would see me instead of doing it for myself. I learned to love my bare face and the beauty that I was given. I didn't have to wear makeup if I didn't want to, and I was finally comfortable going out in public with my natural beauty. I reflected that being categorized as someone incapable because of my height wasn't something I had to see myself by, and I didn't need to. I didn't need to make it define me as a person and what I could or could not do. I learned to set society's expectation of what beauty is or has to be as an inspiration instead of something mandatory. My overall takeaway about self-love is that beauty isn't defined by what society says is up to their standards or not. You have to believe that you are beautiful no matter what you do and how you look. Self-value. I was someone who didn't value myself at all. I settled for toxic relationships, and I would force myself to do things that I didn't even want to do. I learned to value my time and not do things that I didn't enjoy. I was no longer forcing energy where I forced myself to be the hype person when I didn't want to. I learned to put myself first, my well-being first, and my happiness first. My overall reflection on self-value is that setting boundaries is very important in learning to value yourself. Self-care. I relied on others to care for me, to nurture me, and to be there for me constantly. Through my project, I learned to take care of myself the best that I can, even when I didn't want to. I did the bare minimum, and it was okay. For example, ordering myself food when I didn't have the energy to go grab some. I also learned that it was okay to be lazy for a whole day if I needed to, because that was a way of taking care of myself too. I thought that I was going to struggle without a partner physically by me, but I realized one is capable of taking care of themselves even when they don't think that they can. Being in solitude. I was always somebody that wanted to do everything with someone because being alone felt scary. Through being in Thailand for 6 months by myself, I learned that I was capable of doing everything alone. It was things from sleeping alone, showering, eating, walking, and enjoying everything alone. Celebrating my birthday, going to attractions like the elephant sanctuary, markets, malls, were all done alone, and I was able to do that. However, the biggest lesson that I learned was that being able to be in solitude doesn't mean that you always have to be there, but that you can. It's okay to want to share wonderful experiences of your life with others. Being independent. I was someone who always constantly relied on somebody. I wouldn't go anywhere unless someone was with me, and the comfort of somebody just next to me, even though it wasn't convenient for them, was better than being by myself. I also relied on others to stand up for me or to do things for me constantly. Through my project, I practiced eating at restaurants by myself And overall, I traveled alone, so it really proved that I was capable of being independent. I was able to figure out things such as my visa, bookings, researching, traveling information, and expenses. I also learned to be able to remove myself from uncomfortable situations by myself. I learned to stop feeling the need to wait for somebody to do something for me before I do it for myself. However, throughout all of this, I also learned that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to reach out to those that can give you pointers, because sometimes their knowledge will help you realize something that you didn't see or know. I learned to love more. For someone who, for the most part, I kept to myself and only matched energy, I learned to love more. I learned to initiate more, have more conversations, check in more, give what I can even if they don't need it. I learned that knowing someone's love language is not limited to my partner, but that I could use that for everyone else around me as well. If I cared about them, I would work harder to understand what their love languages are and reach it. I realized that I didn't need to be across the world for me to do a phone call with friends and family. Accepting love. I was somebody who struggled with receiving without giving back. I learned to accept love wholeheartedly, such as gifts, lunch, meals, rides, and their time. I realized that people would give because they want to and because they love you. You don't have to match their energy every time, and you don't have to owe them back. Confidence. I was someone who didn't feel like I was good enough, and I was scared of the world. I realized that if someone loves me, they would support my choices and my dreams. No reputation or embarrassment would matter more than my happiness and well-being. I learned that if anyone doesn't support me, I'd still carry on. I became confident that I have what it takes to come out as a CSA survivor. The stage that I am now is healthy, where I practice positivity and empathy to others. Gratitude. I never really practiced gratitude just 'cause. I learned to appreciate those around me more, appreciate the loves from friends and families back home, appreciate the love from family in Thailand, and the strangers that didn't know me but opened their heart to me. Appreciate my mom that showed me unconditional love and never forgot about me. Appreciate my partner that supported me through my whole journey, our relationship together, and taking care of our home. My purpose. I didn't know what I wanted in life and what I was destined to be. I learned that you don't have to have a specific purpose in life, such as like being a doctor, being a nurse, or being a police officer. You don't have to have a specific role or career. The biggest thing I learned was that a purpose may be one thing to some, but to others, it can be as simple as things they're passionate about. I learned that being a certified personal trainer wasn't for me, and that it's okay to give up on something that you thought was your purpose. I realized that empowering and sharing my healing journey was something that I was passionate about. It was something that I wanted to do for others, for other survivors like me, so that they would feel less alone, so that they would feel heard, so that they too could heal and that they too could become something. The 5 biggest lessons that I learned from Project Finding Me in my solo trip to Thailand for 6 months is that 1. I can do hard things. 2. I needed to believe in myself, and that was what was going to take me far. 3. I didn't need anyone's permission to pursue my purpose. 4. Healing doesn't have a destination, and although I've forgiven my perpetrator, it doesn't mean that things around this won't still be hard. 5. I have what it takes to live, to pursue, to empower, to voice, and to make a difference. With that being said, my message to you is take the leap. Live a good period in your life where you don't have to worry about work, bills, or the future. Experience what that's like and discover things about yourself you never knew you were capable of. You may be surprised at how strong you are. You may even see weaknesses where you need to improve as well. Personally, for me, rushing to the American dream wasn't for me for the longest. That 9 to 5, a mortgage, and bills was so depressing to have to live a life like that. I dreamed of traveling the world and exploring. I dreamed of something bigger than making someone else's dream come true and being replaced just like that. But really, it was because I didn't know what I wanted to be. Or actually, after learning from Project Finding Me, it was who I wanted to be. The time I gave myself in this lifetime to discover myself. Only 6 months out of the 28 years I've been alive, I finally know. Now, I want to settle down and pursue my purpose. I want to make a difference in this world and leave knowing I was happy and content with the way that I lived my life. There's no such thing as failing because in the end, you learned something and you took away something. In the end, you made a difference to one living human being out there. If it's not hundreds, thousands, or millions, that one matters. Have courage and believe in yourself. That is everything that I have to share with you guys to close up Season 4, Solo Thailand, Project Finding Me. I am so proud that I have accomplished and finished up all 4 seasons. I just want to take a moment to reflect back on all of these seasons and what we've talked about and what we've been through and gone through. In Season 1, it was about my story, a CSA survivor, where I shared all of the ins and outs of what happened to me and how I overcame that and found forgiveness. In Season 2, I share about the toughest 2 years of my life and how those events played such a big impact in shaping me into who I am today. In Season 3, Love and the Journey to Self-Love, where I share about all of the toxic relationships that I had, the toxic mindset that I had about love, and how I finally learned to love myself. And last but not least, Season 4, Solo Thailand, Project Finding Me, where I share about my solo trip to Thailand, finding my purpose in life, and discovering things about myself and improving in so many areas of my life because of this project. Everything that I've gone through and everything that you've gone through with me as well since the beginning, I just want to take a moment to let you know that I really appreciate you and I hope that you gained a few things from this journey. Maybe it wasn't things along the CSA survivor part, but maybe it was things about self-love or discovering your purpose in life. I hope that you too healed along the way as I shared things about my journey. And I hope that you continue this journey with me because we are not done yet. I will continue this journey where I will no longer have any seasons. All of the seasons to Season 4 will be kept exactly how it is. However, I will continue counting them as episodes now. Calculating all of the episodes in all of the 4 seasons, we have a total of 23 episodes. But from here on out, we will start counting episode 24 and forward. It will be about anything from my healing journey still to other bosses sharing their healing journey to topics and ideas or things that we could talk about. So I hope that you continue this journey with me and that you continue to heal and be inspired and learn a few things from all of the bosses or from myself, and that maybe even you too could join me in my podcast and share your healing journey with the world too. I hope to see you in the next episode 24, you guys, episode 24, where we will continue this journey of healing and becoming. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. And as always, stay being the bad boss that you are. Bye.